Today, we're going to dive into some powerful, biblically based habits that can help you and your spouse grow stronger together. So stick around while we go through 5 healthy habits for a strong marriage. Hello, I'm Martin from instructandgrow.com, where we focused on helping Christian men strengthen their marriages, families, and careers. Have you ever wondered why nearly half of all marriages in the United States end in divorce?
Your aim's as bad as your cooking, sweetheart.
The experts give their list of excuses, but in reality it comes down to a lack of effort, intentionality, and commitment. Marriage is not easy, but with the right habits, we can nurture our relationships and honor God in the process. So let's get started.
All right. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Number 1, daily habits for connection. I believe love is a choice, and I assume you love your wife, at least enough to marry her. But marriage isn't limited to loving your spouse. It's all about liking them and enjoying their presence too.
I would rather have had one breath of her hair, one kiss of her mouth, one touch of her hand, than an eternity without it.
Unfortunately, for many couples, daily stressors cause distance. Thankfully, there are simple, intentional daily habits that can help us maintain a healthy connection, even in the hustle and bustle of daily life. Morning and evening check-ins. It could be a quick conversation over coffee in the morning or a few minutes together before bed. These check-ins are vital. Prioritize them to strengthen your emotional bond. Understand, this should be the bare minimum and not the extent of your daily conversations. Open dialogue is essential for any relationship to function, let alone thrive. Let all that you do be done in love. 1 Corinthians 16, verse 14. Expressing gratitude. Take time each day to thank your spouse for the small things. A simple thank you can make a big difference. Verbalizing appreciation strengthens emotional connection and encourages a positive atmosphere. In addition to saying thank you, many women like receiving little notes too. Consider putting little post-it notes where she'd see them. Before leaving in the morning, you might put one on her side of the mirror that says, "Good morning, beautiful. I love you. Have a wonderful and blessed day today." Try it and see how she responds. Encourage one another and build each other up. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Physical affection. Remember, affection isn't limited to sex. Simple gestures like holding hands or giving a hug can deepen your emotional connection and build intimacy. These seemingly small physical touches and love will create a sense of closeness, affection, and go a long way. You are absolutely beautiful, my darling. There is no imperfection in you. Song of Songs, chapter 4, verse 7. Now, let's talk about communication, a cornerstone for any successful marriage. Number 2, healthy communication practices.
I thought we were going to be together forever, and then about a week later, right out of the blue, she sends me a John Deere letter. She give you any reason? Yeah, I called her up. She gave me a bunch of crap about me not listening to her enough or something. I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention.
Effective communication is essential for any successful relationship. It helps us understand each other's needs, resolve or reduce conflict, and deepen our emotional intimacy. In other words, effective communication helps us to really hear and understand each other. Regular, meaningful communication builds trust and keeps your relationship healthy. The opposite is also true.
You move this car an inch and you're finished, mister! You hear me?
Since we often speak without words, discernment of our non-verbal communication is just as important. Practice active listening. Active listening, as its name implies, requires more listening than talking. Take time each day to listen to your spouse's thoughts, concerns, and feelings. When your wife speaks, practice active listening by giving her your full attention. Don't interrupt or jump in with advice unless asked.
Went a little heavy on the pine tree perfume there, kid.
Sir, it's a taxi cab air freshener.
Great, you've pinpointed it. Step 2 is washing it off.
Your job in these moments is to simply listen. Make an effort to understand her perspective and only offer support when she asks. Set a time limit if necessary, but devote that time to listening and be prepared to be quizzed to prove you are listening. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. James 1:19. Use I statements. When discussing sensitive topics, frame your thoughts with I statements. For example, I feel hurt when, instead of you always. This reduces defensiveness and keeps the conversation constructive. Just make sure your I statement doesn't become passively accusatory by saying something like, I feel you can be disrespectful.
I can't believe you loaned me your car without telling me it had a blind spot. I could have been killed.
Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up. Ephesians 4:29. Intentionally schedule time to talk.
We need to talk.
Life is busy. That's why it's important to set aside time for meaningful conversations with your spouse.
So it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be really hard. And we're gonna have to work at this every day, but I wanna do that because I want you. I want all of you, forever, you and me, every day.
Discuss your day, hopes, concerns, and plans. Prioritizing undistracted communication nurtures emotional intimacy and helps you grow together. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt. Colossians 4:6. All right, now that we've covered daily connections and communication, let's talk about serving one another.
I have served. I will be of service.
Healthy habit number 3, serve one another selflessly. Marriage is a partnership built on love and selfless service. By serving one another, you reflect Christ's sacrificial love in your relationship. Perform acts of service. Look for ways to serve your spouse daily. Small gestures like taking over a chore or preparing a meal show love and care. For some, this is their primary love language. If you don't know yours or your wife's love languages, I've included my affiliate link to Dr. Gary Chapman's The 5 Love Languages in the description for this video. It will help you love your wife through her love language. The greatest among you will be your servant. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Matthew 23, verses 11 and 12. Support each other's goals. Encourage and help your wife achieve her personal and professional goals.
You threw it, didn't you?
You did good, Dad.
Thanks.
I owe you one, Jack.
When your wife shares her dreams or ambitions, show your support by responding with enthusiasm and affirmation. By doing this, you build trust and deepen your partnership. As you become her biggest cheerleader and affirming her dreams, You're showing that you believe in her abilities and potential. While helping her achieve her goals, you'll likely see success of your own in the process. Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. Ecclesiastes 4:9. Forgive freely. We love much because we've been forgiven much. Yes, we all make mistakes, and forgiveness is at the heart of a healthy and lasting marriage. But forgiveness is a choice, not a feeling. Holding on to resentment hurts your relationship. When we fully embrace the grace we've received, we are empowered to extend that grace to others. Learn to let go of offenses quickly and practice grace, just as Christ forgave us. By choosing to forgive freely, you create an environment where love can flourish, and past mistakes don't define the future. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13. Let's move into a spiritual habit of prayer that will not only transform your marriage, but also deepen your faith. Number 4, building spiritual habits together. Couples who pray and study the Bible together often find that they experience greater intimacy and unity. When you invite God into your marriage, you build a foundation that's unshakable.
And if I haven't told you that I love you, I do. Something has changed in you, Caleb. And I want what happened to you to happen to me.
Praying together daily. Find time each day that works for both of you and pray together. When you pray, lift each other up and ask God to guide and protect your marriage. This habit will help align your hearts and minds with God's will. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I with them. Matthew 18:20. Attend church together. Make it a priority to attend church services regularly. This reinforces your shared values and strengthens your connection with God and each other. Before choosing a church, ensure you and your wife are equally yoked in your beliefs. Then search for a biblically based church if you don't already go to one, and get involved in it with fellow believers. Let us not give up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing. Hebrews 10:25. Study the Bible together. Make time for devotional readings or Bible studies together. By grounding your relationship in Scripture, you create a bond that transcends the challenges of life. The revelation of your words brings light and gives understanding to the inexperienced. Psalm 119, verse 130. Number 5, date nights. Date nights aren't just for new couples. They're essential for keeping romance alive in long-term marriages too. These can be weekly, surprise, or special. Choose one or all, but make sure you have them with your wife. A man shall leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Genesis 2:24. Building a strong marriage takes intentionality and commitment, but it's incredibly rewarding. By cultivating daily habits for connection, practicing healthy communication, serving one another, and nurturing your spiritual life together, you can strengthen your marriage and grow closer to God. Embrace these biblical principles and watch how your relationship deepens in love, trust, and unity. I'm Martin from InstructAndGrow.com, and I want to encourage you to commit to these habits and watch how they transform your relationship. If you found today's video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe for more biblical insights on marriage and life. For more articles and resources, head over to www.instructandgrow.com, and let's keep growing together. Until next time, God bless.